Just run to the back. Add up.
Dispel me.
3, 2, 1.
3 sec, guys. Over here.
Life Bloom, you've got add. Run to the back.
I got him, Truven.
Take care of other add.
Dispel.
First storm almost down.
1.
T-swell.
All ranged attack the second storm.
Dispel me.
At 10 stacks, grabbing the first orb.
2, 1.
T-swell.
Grabbing Seriatan and Chi. You've got orbs. Clear a little bit and run.
Stack on me, guys. Closer. I got him, Truven.
We'll try to take out this pack.
Dispel, chair.
So Dispel and all ranged.
T-swell.
Get the ads.
Fire by melee side.
Three, two,
Melee.
1.
T-swell.
Melee attack the other one. I'm gonna go and clear up. Ignore this ad when it comes down. There's an ire up. Soak it. Can we get slows on the ad that just spawned?
1.
Dispel me. We're gonna reset.
Yeah.
Slow the ads. Ignore ads. Other than slow. Everybody else focus. No DPS on ads, only slow.
3, 2,
You
1.
can go ahead and take him.
T-swell.
Life Bloom, Innervate. Everybody hard boss.
Poor
Good job, guys.
Hey, we did it.
Congrats.
Woohoo! I am now exalted with. Oh, portrait!
Oh, a shield, very nice.
That's when the troll princess returned, with blood in her
Well,
eyes.
congratulations, we got past Stormwall.
Alright, I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep now.
Butchers are getting away.
Good, because you're gonna need it.
Hell, bring us to the docks. By the
I've done it, I'm good.
invaded our city.
We're gonna one-shot Dana, man.
The wounded need my aid, Captain. Take these hordes.
God, I hope
that's-
so.
Pursue the murderers. Bring them ahead of
It's
General
relatively a lot
It will be
easier.
so
I wanna
It's a lot easier.
Heroes, come aboard.
That's true. Have they done any significant nerfs to Jaina? I haven't really looked at the list.
Trin.
Oh no, dude. That really sucks.
That's cold as ice right there.
Alright, Zip put up gloves or pants for roll. 400 haste crit pants. Do a slash roll if you need it, any leather wearers.
Lord Admiral Proudmoore was as
The stairs are magic.
She offered the horde every
Where's the loot?
turned back.
It's a
I
chest
started it.
down by the boss.
Yeah.
So I
We're
Hey for trespassing in
we're all here on the boat now for Jaina.
don't know if you can.
If you got
get back
any
to
loot,
it.
it'll go your mail.
That's true.
You will soon join them. I have heard
Greaves is going to area. You can pick it up from Zip.
and lost her
We also have a pair of Greaves from Monkshoe. Actually, instead of picking it up from Zip, you can grab it from Monkshoe. Hers has Avoidance, so better roll.
pay for your crimes. All hands
Yeah. You can give him back. I can save him for my DPS at Taylor.
I'm sorry, do I not? I wasn't paying attention.
Monkshoe has avoidance, so you're gonna take hers, and then I'll just take mine back and just use it for my DPS set.
All
Yep.
right.
Hey,
Thank you.
I've got bad lag. I'm just gonna bow out.
Okay, hopefully
I don't-
clears up.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, that's why I died. I logged out in the CL.
He's turning into a robot now.
Yeah.
Alright, it's
Night
been a while
time.
since I've been here. Let's see if I can remember all that I need to explain.
Hi, Talman. You were finally here when we killed something.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Night.
He gets to go to work 4 minutes early today.
It's going to take longer than that for me to remember what needs to go on and explain the various heroic mechanics. Okay, Phase 1, I don't believe there's been any significant changes other than the cannonballs when they land. I believe they made a change to the cannonballs so they target closer to the players. So if people aren't standing directly next to the ballistas, they shouldn't get hit by fire too often. There's obviously those little root things that come out. The ads that can be mind controlled. We only really need one priest to take care of that, so Sacrifice can take care of it. Unless you'd rather be on Jinxed for this, it's completely up to you.
No.
Okay. Sacrifice will be mind controlling the ads.
I can switch to my priest if you want, and do shadow and do the ads that way.
Just
cleave the other ad down while he mind controls.
Yeah. And even then, mind control doesn't really have a cooldown, does it?
No cooldown.
Yeah, after the first one's done, if the second one isn't dead or has basically been ignored, he can just take care of it.
Can a warlock chain them or whatever they do? Use them as their slaves or?
That's only demons.
Oh, sucks.
So we'll just have Sacrifice take care of that. Those guys aren't a huge deal, especially since they can just have them jump out. I'll try to grab any bombs that I can see and handle ballistas that shoot off. I believe we need to shoot off a total of 6 shots per boat that comes up, so if they end up getting set on fire, we need an avalanche on them immediately. When the avalanches come out, it's going to be on 1 tank and 2 DPS. You need to get them out of the group as quickly as possible and on top of any ballista fire. You don't want to clear out all of the fires because of the Ring of Frost that comes out. You can stand enough fire to avoid the root that comes. And if you're unable to get out of the circle when it goes off, you can also stand in the fire there to get out of that shell. The cannonballs, when they land, they do a knockback, so make sure you're not getting hit by that, and if you do get hit, not by the she does a frontal cone thing that knocks people back, so once again, don't get hit by that, or if you do, make sure you're not right next to an edge. When the avalanches come out, the tank can just kind of hover back over by Jaina, but you want to make sure you're not hitting anybody. And then the DPS can just run along the side by the ballistas until you get to the back. Hopefully you don't get hit by the avalanche will fuck people up if they get hit by it. So they need to be moved out immediately. Stop what you're doing and just run those away from the group. That's basically all for phase 1, I think.
The avalanche is mainly a tanking mechanic.
It's a tanking
target a DPS, but
unheroic 2 DPS and the tank get avalanche. Once we're off the boat, then it's only the and it still does full damage if the DPS have the avalanche going off on them. So if they don't run out immediately, they will kill people. Once we're off the boat, we've got to go through an annoying little gauntlet. Make sure you dodge stuff. If you get hit by anything, you're going to take a lot of damage, extra stacks, and if it's a tiny little swirly orb thingy that's going across, you're going to be frozen solid into an ice block, which needs to be DPS down. It sucks. Do your best to avoid those. During that time, speedy classes and people with ranged interrupts can run down to quickly interrupt Jaina as soon as possible. I know I'm going to be charging down there to try to solar beam her so we can get out of that intermission as quickly as possible. Once we're past that and we break people out who've been blocked, she's going to cast Bombardment. It's a little debuff on people. They're supposed to go and drop those on top of barrels to break them open. We need to use those barrels to get rid of our debuff stacks during phase 2, I guess. So we want to be close to a broken barrel, but we don't want to completely destroy it until it's absolutely necessary, because we do have a very limited supply. There's also going to be some sort of barrage ability that she does. It's going to be a bigger debuffer on somebody. They need to run that as far away from the group as possible. She's going to do Glacial Ray, which is basically a big-ass beam. You want to make sure you're behind her when she does. Throughout this entire fight, everybody can basically just be stacked behind her unless they need to move stuff out, so nobody should really be spread out. The more spread you are, the quicker you take passive stacks, the more damage you take, all of that. So just stack on her ass the entire fight, basically. Avalanche is going to be... no, Avalanche is just normal. What am I thinking of? Icefall is going to be an ability that has a little arrow go out on the edge of the frozen lake after we're done with this phase. It's just going to point the direction that it's going to land, or go and cause a bunch of pools on the ground. Just, sidestep it, don't get hit by it, and everything should be... That sums up phase 1 and 2. Let's get a bit more pulls in on her so we can see all this stuff first before I explain the...
Dispels?
Do you want to put broadside to the next barrel so that it doesn't get in the way of the restway?
Broadsides need to get out of the group immediately. Preferably, we should have all of the barrels broken basically immediately, and then the broadsides can just kind of sidestep the group so it doesn't hit anybody, and then they can just come back in.
Is there something in this fight we should not be dispelling?
There's two things we should be dispelling.
Nope, there's nothing in the fight that you should be dispelling. It's all about mana management and making sure everybody pays attention to what you have.
Yep. When it comes down to the last bit, you're going to be basically This is a very long 10-11 minute fight or more, so you just need to really manage it. All of the dispels can be handled just from quickly breaking people out of ice blocks, or from the barrels going off, or from the fire on the deck. There's a couple of different types of ones that root people that is beneficial to dispel immediately, but if you have mana consumption issues, just, let it go off naturally and just keep the person alive.
Yeah, make it a point not to get frozen when we're down there off the boat. Don't try to be a hero.
I think we should get a little bit of practice in. Sounds like a good bit of people haven't done this fight too much, so they should definitely get some first-hand knowledge.
5, 4.
See which tank you got.
2.
I got Sheriff.
For the Alliance!
Sacrifice, you're gonna kill the
Oh,
ranged.
guy. Nobody did a ready pull. I wasn't here.
Alright, launching the ballista.
Are we rezzing him?
Yeah, definitely.
Are we not mind controlling the ad?
Is anybody mind controlling?
Go into fire.
I think Sacrifice is AFK when we started.
Bombardment.
We need people to grab the barrels, 'cause one's about to blow up right now. Next ring of ice.
On the starboard side. I will freeze you where you stand.
Avalanche, move them out.
The tide moves against you.
We've got bombs.
Don't stun the ads.
If you have a bomb, basically you're just supposed to move to the edge of the boat and then the action button changes. That's when you can throw. Okay, she's phasing. It's basically gonna be a wipe after this, but if we can get some people to see this little intermission, then let run over to the edge of the boat here by me. I'm gonna take this time to get some marks out for the barrels.
Impossible! I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Slow it down.
It's time we finish this.
3, 2, 1.
Beware. It's too far away.
Ice blocks are always priority.
I hope you don't mind.
Yep, get a little bit more practice with it. I'm just getting markers down. The barrel on X is open if you want to drag the boss over to that and kill that.
I'm frozen.
The tide moves against you.
How do you get your stacks off again?
You need
barrel.
Yep. When you get to this phase, she immediately casts broadside on people. Those 3 people are supposed to drag their broadsides to one of the unexploded ordnances that I marked out on the map. And once that's blown up, we can stack by one of the ordnances, DPS it down, and then it causes a fire aura that gets rid of our stacks.
If you die, don't release. Just stay here and let. Oh, never mind. It'd be easier to explain if we stayed over there.
The way I have barrels marked, we should preferably start over on the skull barrel, where the skull marker is out in the water there. Then the X marker out in the water, and then the blue one, which is closest to. If people can get their broadsides on those markers immediately, that'd be preferred, but at the very least, get the skull one first. If we can keep a consistent barrel rotation, it'll make transitioning there a lot easier.
Otherwise, get broadsides out of raid.
Circle mark there is just where we're going to be stacking during the intermission change.
Intellect, please.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For the alarm! You will be washed away!
I'm out of range. I can use that.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche move.
Last one.
In the fire turban. Get your stacks off.
Ring of Ice coming up.
2, 1.
Get in the fire.
I hope you don't mind, Cole.
Avalanche move.
If you're good at quick moving, you can wait until the last second to hop into the fire for the Ring of Frost. It saves a little bit of extra damage that the healers need to worry about.
Sacrifice iteration.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Ring of Ice. I ended up getting knocked off while using the blue. Did a couple of barrels blow up?
Yeah, I think so.
I've been
Thought that was the case. A lot of people were dead there. She's almost to her intermission, so keep it up so you can get some more practice with the bombardments and running through the whole gun.
Sacrifice is down, we'll have to fill the ads.
4, 3, 2, 1.
In 1%, it won't matter. Ads just despawn naturally when it's intermission.
I hope you don't mind, Cole. left to run. I switch. You really think I've been running, Captain? Impossible! I lured
Trin, you got the interrupt?
waters, because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Yeah.
Jaina's position down there isn't set in stone. You can tell where she's located by how the little swirlies are radiated.
3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Whoa, that's a lot of frozen solid.
The tide moves against you. I will freeze you where you stand.
I need to target something first. Beware.
The tide moves against you. Cannons fire! You will be washed away.
3, 2, 1.
Beware.
You said we should not release, so you can show us some stuff here?
Well, it's just gonna port you to the boat. I thought it keeps you here.
You will be washed away.
I was saying it would be easier
Beware.
to kind of explain if we stay dead here.
Beware of me.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Nine.
Alrighty then. That time, a couple of barrels blew up, killing a good amount of people on the boat. Let's just practice keeping an eye on it and getting them down a little fast. Let's see. Ballistas are fine as long as I don't fall off the boat, which was unfortunate. We just need to handle barrages and keeping people alive during the intermission a little bit better and get some more practice. Preferably, we'll start our barrel killing around skull, X, and then square. But if we end up missing one, it's fine to just break whichever's, already open instead of just having everybody free. The square is just a little bit closer to the ice wall during the next intermission when you need to burst it. That's the only reason why I would prefer to keep square last, but if it's necessary, we'll just take down whatever we can in order to keep. All I can say is let's go again and get some more practice in, preferably with more people alive down there.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For Colterus!
Gods are in
Avalanche coming up. Get avalanches out. Yeah, shot that a little too early. We got Marines out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ring of Ice, get to fire.
I will freeze you where you stand. Enemy vessel off the starboard side. Man the gods.
New ads out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Give us a second.
Ring of Ice.
I hope you don't mind the cold. You will be washed
Avalanche,
away.
get him out.
He was frozen.
Enemy vessels pop up outside. Give them a taste of our cannons.
I think barrels blew up there. Was that an avalanche killing people?
Yeah, they were frozen in place and the avalanche.
Gotcha. Neil and Bob, but no batteries available.
1.
Well, it's intermission, so a little more practice with this start.
Oh shit.
Impossible! I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape. It's time we finish this.
3, 2, 1.
Broadsides on people. Most of them frozen. But X is going to be open if you want to move the boss to X for a second.
I hope you don't mind the cold.
Let's at least get the ordnance down so people can see the aura of it if they're down.
You will be washed away.
Okay, that's the unexploded ordnance circle. Basically, when that's up, you want to stand on the edge of it until the thing is about to completely fill up and then hop. While you're inside of it, your debuff's gone. But once it's finished, it blows up and does a bunch of damage to you.
Beware.
The tide moves against you.
Beware.
How many people made it down?
I'd probably say about 2/3 of us.
Freeze you where you stand.
Just keep in mind when you do release those barrels from the frozen, don't DPS it right away. And don't stand the boss on it. Just keep them tanked off to the side because you don't want to cleave it either until we're ready to actually break the barrel.
Usually the first barrel is kind of a rush to break it down, just because of how that thing. But after that, you want to kind of be off to the side of it and only break it when it's absolutely necessary.
Right.
I'm putting a marker on Neil and Bob and
It's not letting me res.
That's kind of weird. I see you rezzed, but over by Jane.
I still have you guys just fighting with 3 people alive.
Okay, that's weird.
Still go.
Did you reload?
Yeah, twice now. Let me try to relog. Yeah, game must have crashed because it's not even letting me.
You're back by us now.
There's a couple of repairs by Star.
There we go. I can see properly.
It's not letting me back in.
Also has a little bit more fire all over the boat.
Let me restart the computer because it's not letting me do shit.
Alright, I'm gonna put up a short 5-minute while you try to get that sorted. We can take this time to, sort out any issues or problems we were having with first or second phase, or, just go to the bathroom or
When we go to the second phase, how does that stop those tornadoes? Just by getting like
that is by somebody running up to Jaina and interrupting.
Oh, she's casting. Okay, I've never been
Yeah,
close
she's
enough to see
casting.
her. So
Yeah.
once we get over there, what's the first thing we should be doing? Should we be going to a barrel?
First thing we should be doing is stacking behind the tanks. Only 3 people are going to be getting the barrage cast, and then those 3 people are going to be going to barrels. Preferably, at least get Skull down, just so we can, just start at a convenient spot. But just get something down. As long as the barrel's broken, we'll be able to continue the fight.
So then that answer is yes. We should all be going to a barrel, except the ones that are targeted.
Oh, you need.
We should all be by the tanks. Only 3 people are getting the barrage, and then those 3 move to the barrels. If you get hit by a barrage, you're going to take a bunch of damage, so it's not something you want to have a group stacked on top of. people need to be smart with the debuffs that they get and move out accordingly. Otherwise, it's very easy to cause accidents or wipes in this fight.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Have a good night, Nutmeg.
Night, Meg.
Yep. If no barrels are broken during the first cluster of barrages, we're basically fucked. Everybody's going to be turned into frozen popsicles, and a lot of people are going to end up dead. So the cooldown in between the barrages is actually a pretty decent amount of time when it comes to stacking effects like this fight.
I didn't notice when during intermission, does the fire disappear on the boat?
Yes, it does. So before the intermission starts, if you have any frost stacks, normally you just go and take a quick dip inside of the fire and then head over to the little mark on the edge.
Okay.
It's just sitting there spinning. It's not bringing the WoW up.
Well, you're in Discord, so it might be something.
That's not my internet.
Then. It actually took me a bit to load up into WoW when I started, so it might be a continuation of some sort of problem.
What if you kick him from the raid, maybe?
Might be your add-ons.
All my add-ons are up to date.
Hey, there's a skeleton above us, you guys. Look above us.
Yep. By the time the night's over, there should be a few more.
In the air?
Yeah, that's probably actually Herschel.
That's what happens when a bomb goes off under your ass.
Oh.
Yeah, it's letting me go into my other games, Hearthstone, Diablo.
Okay, well, if you aren't able to get back in, there's not a whole lot we're able to do unless we have, like, Cam switch over to a pseudo tank for a little more practice in.
I can hop on my tank if you want me to.
At the moment, it's
I
all
have
practice. I'm not expecting a win tonight, but people got to know how to do a bunch of the mechanics for this. So, if you wouldn't mind, that would help if Herschel can't get back in a couple.
5, 4, 3.
I'll run the repair. See
1.
something fucked up.
Alright. Yeah, if we can get a good 2-3 pulls of extra practice on this, that'd be a good night, just seeing her fight a little bit more. If you want to swap heals, that's fine. Yeah, Stormwall's been kind of a block for quite a while, so if we can get Jaina down now and get the AOTC within, the month and a half, 2 months, which should definitely be doable, we're, happy days for the guild.
You wanting me to switch?
Yeah, if you can hop on your... Alright, getting Cam set as a tank now. We have Savage healing. We've got a total of 5 healers. Nobody wants Herschel, so I'm not actually able to kick you, but I'll just ignore the fact that you're...
Eventually, I'll take it to somebody else.
Yeah. Let's ready check and get a couple more pulls and then... do you know the gist of how you're supposed to tank this, Cam? Or have you not really played around with her at all as a tank?
I know you get avalanche, just run away, drop your stacks or whatnot. I haven't really tanked at all.
Okay,
I'll just see what
if there's
the
anything
game's
different, you can just
at.
ask Cherub.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call for taunts a little bit quicker because that's how I'm getting wrecked.
Okay.
Because the frosting, the frost debuff stacks, plus there's an ice shard debuff that stacks, and one of them is clearable, obviously, if there's fire to clear it. But even if you manage to do that, the time between avalanches, the ice shard stack gets so high that it's unbearable. So we're gonna have to at least do a taunt a little bit in there.
Okay. Duplicate, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We just had Cam switch over to tank. We're gonna give it a good couple more pulls if Herschel can get back in, and then probably just call it an early night after 2 or 3 more. See the fight a little more.
Let's do it.
I don't think I'm able to promote you to assist, Cam, so Cherub, if you wanna do ready, you're up.
I'm not powerful enough for that.
I think Wolverine's the late currently.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You got assist.
It's too far away.
I hope you don't mind. I can't use them.
Don't look breaks, shoot your face.
New Marines out.
Turn the fire cam to clear your freezing, and when your ice shard stacks fall off, taunt.
I cast Blessing on our Hand of Protection to see if it took it away. It doesn't.
Ring of Ice, get to fire. Life Bloom, innervate. Avalanche, get him out, clear fire.
Clear fire if you have blue arrow, please. Great job.
Is that beam she does random, or is it like picking a person?
No, it's based on, I think, tank location.
So keep them facing towards the front of the boat.
2, 1.
Get away from bombardment.
I hope you don't mind, cold. They are soaked. Nothing left but ash and splinters.
Lifeblood, I'm holding the battle res for a tank in case it...
Monk innervated.
New Marine.
Clear your stacks.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ring of Ice. Ooh, I think I got the barrel off just in time. Phasing. Get over to the circle. It's actually a good bit of people this time. A little high stacks, but not much we can do about that.
Take your time.
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape. It's time we finish this.
Alright, dodge things. Broadsides coming out. Drop them on barrel. Dodge Glacial Ray. Stack behind the boss.
I hope you don't mind.
Everybody kill the Skull Ordnance. You can bring the boss directly on top.
Down.
Down too.
Cam Battera. Icefall's kind of a bad spot.
All weapons, open fire.
Cherub, Battera's now.
You will be washed away.
Oh, Cam just died. That's unfortunate.
3, 2, 1.
Beware.
Dodge the ray. Remember, you want to stack as close to the boss as possible with other people. Being enraged is not going to help you out at all.
Beware.
Beware. Beware.
Well, most of us survived until we got to that phase, so that was progress, I suppose.
I suppose.
Yeah, so clearing the stacks seemed to work out. Clearing at 10 stacks seems to work out well because then it lines up with the Ring of Frost as well. So,
Are you talking about the taunt swaps?
yeah. So the taunt swapping at 10 stacks of the ice lance thing seems to work out.
Okay.
Would you mind putting both tanks in the same group, please?
Sure.
Cam and Cherub, how do you feel about putting the boss on the left side? So that if it needs to be, Glacier Ray, it'll just go either left or right.
Talking about in that left doorway.
Second phase?
Basically.
Uh-huh. Right on the first phase so that it doesn't go through the rain.
Just keep it facing towards the front.
And what percentage does she transition?
6.
From phase 1 to phase 2, it is 60%. And then it's what? I don't remember what the transition after that is.
35, 30?
Something like that.
Just so we could call it out, because there was a lot of people with high stacks at the transition.
Transition for phase 1 is 60%. I'll try to call it out. I usually try to get that out a little earlier, but kind of not paying too much attention to that and keeping track of others.
Because I had some people targeted just to toss a little heal, and then because of that little animation, when the animation was over, they had more stacks on them.
Yeah.
So that's like a guaranteed 2 or 3 stacks from that stupid animation.
I'm not able to kick Neil and Bob. I don't know who got promoted to leader. Oh, there.
That was just bad timing on the stacks where the Ring of Frost happened to coincide with transition, so all the fire disappeared.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate. I do think those stacks disappeared during the whole intermission animation stuff, though, or at least I think it's supposed to.
No, it stays with you.
Okay, so it still stays. That's unfortunate.
keeps going,
Yeah,
keeps
we need to
stacking.
clear before that's why so many people got frozen immediately, right? Or was that from the little swirlies that come out?
It's definitely the stacks prior not being able to put
We
stacks.
left the
Everybody
ship
went
with a
in
shit
with
ton of stacks, yeah.
like 8 to
Okay.
9. Yeah,
Well, you
everybody.
also get frozen immediately if you hit the swirlies being thrown at you at the start of that phase.
Yeah. I'll call it out at about 65% or try to get that out. If people want to hop into fire at that point. Envoy, are you here?
Yes.
Alrighty then. Everybody should be here. We can get another attempt or two in.
And when we get to phase 2, there is no range to everybody's melee.
2,
Exactly.
1.
The tide rises.
Be nice to your healers, please.
Enemy vessel up upon side.
We've got a bomb right by melee. If somebody can.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Envoy avalanche.
Red stuff on the floor, move.
Life Bloom Innervate. New Marine.
Mark your innovation.
Their vessel is bound for the deep.
Thank you.
Come on.
Whew, that was close.
I saw you. I got that.
4, 3, 2.
He's gonna
Ugh.
explode.
I'm surprised that the barrels just to stop damaging the second you hit that instead of needing to get in the.
Enemy vessel off the starboard
Seems like something they'd be more finicky about. Avalanche, move them away from.
Run it through the fireplace.
New
Varmint.
Marines.
A fine shot. Their vessel is bound for the deep.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Ring of Ice.
Where you stand. I will freeze you where you stand.
Avalanche. Bombardment.
New Marine. Jaina is at 65%. Clear your stack.
Bombardment.
Hope the continents can swim better than they say.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Ring of Ice, get to fire.
I hope you don't mind the cold.
Get the avalanches out.
You will be washed away.
Oh yeah, that sucked. Saving the battle rest for tanks. Well, at least most people don't have high stacks and
Impossible.
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no
escape.
Well, that's strange. Siri had 11 stacks, but then it dropped off.
That's because I was frozen.
All right, get the broadsides to barrel.
1. Beware.
Dodge glacial ray. Once the broadside's done, stack boss on top of skull.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Cam, get avalanche out.
I want to pick a barrel.
Break the skull. Stand on the edge of the.
Frozen
Break
people.
any ice blocks.
All weapons, open fire.
Get the broadsides out to other barrels. We don't have any. Try to bring Jaina around X.
3, 2, 1.
Cherub, battle red. Dodge glacial ray. Next broadsides, make sure people hit barrels with them. I'm gonna take care of square. Other people get a.
Beware.
No, you're not gonna be killing the boss directly on top of X. Just to be near it. And you see the whole ice fall thing that y'all are getting hit by. If you see that arrow, make sure you stand away from it.
I hope you don't mind the cold.
Get now.
Cam, no better as available. At this point, broadsides just move out of the group.
1.
Whoever has Siegebreaker Blast, you need to run as far away from the group as possible. The ordnances auto-break any ice blocks that are... if it's within its radius.
The tide moves again. Beware of me.
That's my last attempt.
Alright.
Do they have any repairs, or are we calling?
Crickets.
Mav, did you want to call it early, or did you want to
Oh,
one
no,
more time?
I think calling it early is fine at this point. I mean, we already have a win. It's all just gravy in practice at this point. So, we're gonna call it a little early. Good job, everybody, with the storm.